Well, good morning. I'm afraid it's not bright and sunny as we'd hoped, but with a bit of luck, we might be able to have the procession at the end. Otherwise, it'll be brollies up and a quick dash to the Teaching and Learning building for some refreshment. It's great to have so many people here today. I think maybe about a year ago, we weren't sure if we were ever going to get to this time when we could all meet together and celebrate the success of our graduands. And they are graduands. Until they've crossed the stage and I've capped them, they remain graduands. And once I've capped them, they're then graduates of the university, and they join a long line of very famous graduates that now numbers 191,000 across the globe. Yesterday, I was lucky enough to be at another graduation where the audience was very loud, but they were chemical engineers. So come on, I want loud today. Enjoy today. Celebrate the success of your loved ones and supported young people and our graduates, and just let go. Don't run across the stage. I don't think we're insured for it, but let go and have fun. So without further ado, I declare this congregation open, and I ask the head of the law school, Professor Claire McDermott, to introduce our graduands.
Executive Dean, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you these students for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy for Research in Law, Douglas Jack. For the degree of Master of Laws, Alexander Adebayo Adeyemi. Gada Jamal A. Al-Saba. Finine Mileni. Holly Katie Murray. Murari Vikrant Murugan. Vasiliki Stavropoulou. In construction law, Hayan Ahmad. Daniel David Brown. Lawrence Paul Casserly. Nicola Ellen Grimes. Stephen Ross Hare. Ross Kemet. Grant Politaiko. Stephen Franco Sanzoni. Christine Jane Stewart. Nicholas John Yeoman. In criminal justice and penal change, Amanda Jane Gallagher. In Global Environmental Law and Governance, Kyle William Fox. Elisa Granzotto. Manon Ruby. Aditi Sashindra Shettia. In human rights law, Ja Ahenken Adom Frempa. Claire Catherine Gallagher. Erin Marie Gallagher. Saskia Mary Harper. Luis Julio Paulino. Caitlin Emily Richards. Mohammed Samura. Lucy Jane Stevenson. In Information Technology and Telecommunications Law, Jiboza Judith Eziamaka. In International Commercial Law, Kristina Kandayeva. In International Commercial Law, with a specialisation in financial regulation, Thomas Derek Kyle. Stephen Robert McLaughlin. In International Relations, Law and Security, Brodie Duncan. In Internet Law and Policy, Lubiana Hannah Amari. Ruth Linden. In Mediation and Conflict Resolution, Farid Arada. Saini Bell. Reindert Jupp Frank Eichmann. Ariana Victoria Findlay. For the degree of Master of Science in Criminal Justice and Penal Change, Claire Colette Janine Madeleine Ragan. Gratiela Slabu. In Mediation and Conflict Resolution, John Armstrong. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Law and Economics, Catherine Mary McFarlane. In Law and History, Melanie Kelly. In Law and Politics and International Relations, Ben Joseph McCartney. In Law and Social Policy, Darcy Minez. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Anna May Catherine Boyle. Jodie Burke. Eva Marie Curran. Brittany Elizabeth Davis. Bryony Giblin. Tegan Horn. Sohail Idris Jafar. David Logan. Katrina Lorna McBain. Erin MacDonald. Rosie McIntosh. Sophie Elizabeth Rook. Bethany Jane Sharp. Catherine Margaret Short. Erin Thompson. Daniel Greg Walker. Claudia Wegresine. Antoinette Bisland. Shannon Rose Campbell. Mark Carlin. Charlotte Shannon Chisholm. Rebecca Conroy. Douglas Cummings. Kirsty Dale. Adam Dalgleish. Lucy Claire Dwyer. Taylor Haddo. Lauren Dawn Hall. Michael Higgins. Stephen Knox. Amy McKee. Alicia Sultana Malik. Lewis Marchand. Emma Marsh. Georgia McLaren. Alexander Robert Conn McClay. Gary McPhail. Alicia Myrod Medford. Kieran Anthony Malarvey. Niamh Francis Mooney. Sophie Rose Morland. Nicole Mulrain. Cameron Park. Hugh Robertson. Margaret Robinson. John Roger. Caitlin Jane Isabella Rowett. Callum Sanderson. Amy Helen Smith. Greg Smith. Olivia Llewellyn Smith. Saira Tariq. Emma Taylor. John Clooney Waite. Kyle Weir. Alex Hwan. Hira Amjad. Kyle McGlinchey. Aisha Amir. Adriana Cavallaro. Steluta Gabriela Kohokaru. Jodie Craw. Rebecca Jessica Ann Crawford. Kate Alice Edwards. Yagmur Kupeli. Daniel Lynch. Iona Charlotte Ballantyne McRitchie. Katie McCallum. Karen McConnell. Gemma McDougall. Amy McDowell. Michael Joseph McGuinness. Marnie Murray. Paul Richard Morgan. Finlay James Niven. Katrina Proctor. Ruth Raby. Rubina Emily Wrigley. Karen Russell. Daria Vittoria Sassarini. Claire Grace Shimmons. Caitlin Smith. Jonathan William James Taylor. Rebecca Taylor. David Andrew Towers. Clinical, Daria Deryugina Burton. Christopher Barr. Ifueku Joy Okungboa. Carmen Rowett. Rebecca Ruth Tate. Audrey Bryan Valdiavella. Alistair Robert James Flett. Ronan James Leslie. Arun Smith. In English law, Saeed Salim Ali Al-Hanai. Benjamin John Johnston. Devin Curtis Eyre. Ayman Kuram. Taif M.A.M.E. Mohammed. In law with a modern language, Taylor Alexander William Foster. Abby Louise Carr. In Scots and English law, Jamie Michaela Adams. David Kennedy. Thomas Lamb. Sarah Louise Quinn. Claudia White. Miles William Wright. Scott Forbes Briggs. Lisa Devani. Lauren Donnelly. Niamh Finnegan. Ciara Louise Friel. Bethany Ruth Hughes. Ayla Maria Kennedy. Alexander Lanigan. Robin Louise Linnich. Rory Thomas Mackey. Louise McFall. Mohammed Sohail Mahmood. Kirsten Mulgrew. Emma Isla Reevy. Nadia Raymond. Jessica Carlin. Kayla Angel Kamagasha. Marina MacDonald. Courtney McKendrick. Emanuela Alexandra Savine. Jordan James Tervitt. Neil Aitken. Abushi Ako. Kwaku Bona. Aisha Kazakel. Miriam Shufak. Alana Georgina Somerville. In Scots and English Law Clinical, Nicola Janet Maguire. Daniel Joshua Lydon. Beth Mackay Muirhead. In Scots and English Law, Alexandra Mary Brown. Nicole Amato. And for the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Kerry Alexis.
Well, that was nice and loud. So I think we're doing slightly better than the chemical engineers. So before we start, let's just give a round of applause to the class of 2022. So let me warmly welcome you again to this special ceremony, and it's a very memorable day. A day that marks the culmination of many years of demanding work and dedication for our new graduates. I don't think we can take anything for granted. The last 2 years have been particularly challenging for all of us due to the coronavirus pandemic. And you, our graduates, have shown great resilience, adaptability, and determination to arrive at this day. For those of you graduating in front of your family, friends, and supporters, this will be a proud moment. They've supported you through unprecedented hardship, and I'm sure you're extremely grateful for their support. So graduates, let us take the opportunity to show our appreciation and gratitude with a round of applause for your family, friends, and supporters. Similarly, all of our graduates have been helped by my wonderful colleagues who've worked hard to provide you with a first-class education and an outstanding student experience despite the pandemic, and for whom your success is their reward. So graduates, please join me in showing your appreciation to them and to those that made today possible. In a short while, you'll be invited to join an academic procession when we leave the hall, weather permitting. I'm still looking. This is a symbol that you're no longer students, but are now fully members of our academic community at Strathclyde. And as I said earlier, that number now tops 191,000 across the world. Our university was founded by Professor John Anderson in 1796 during the Scottish Enlightenment for the benefit of all and as a place of useful learning. While John Anderson is best remembered for being a professor of natural philosophy, what we now call physics, much earlier he was a professor of Oriental languages, a true polymath, bridging the divide between the human and the scientific. Anderson believed in knowledge for the greater good and for all. what we now call widening participation. And we as a university have remained faithful to our founding principles. Strathclyde is at the forefront of widening access to higher education, welcoming those with the ability to learn regardless of their personal circumstances. We have already met the Scottish Government's 2030 target of 20% of our new students coming from 20% of the most challenging areas in the country, and we've achieved this while having some of the highest entrance requirements in the UK. Our motto, useful learning, continues to apply today as we seek to gain new knowledge and understanding that we can apply to the challenges of our times. Strathclyde is a research-intensive and knowledge-sharing university whose vision is to make a positive difference to the lives of our students, to society, and to the world. Through our groundbreaking research, we're helping to change the world for the better. In the recently published results from the 2021 Research Excellence Framework, which is the UK government system for assessing the quality of research in UK higher education institutions, almost 90% of Strathclyde's research was assessed as world-leading or internationally excellent. In the law school in particular, 81% of the research conducted was judged world-leading or internationally excellent, and the school was placed third in Scotland. Strathclyde also has the second highest impact quality profile in Scotland, demonstrating the effect our research has on everyday lives in the real world. Through our research, we're leading the development of innovative technologies that will facilitate the transition from fossil fuels to the clean, sustainable energy sources that we so much look forward to. This will power our futures and will tackle climate change. One key aspect of the work we do on addressing the challenges of our global global ecosystem crisis comes in the form of the One Ocean Hub, a major initiative that seeks to promote fair and inclusive decision-making for a healthy ocean whereby the people and planet flourish. And this work is being led by colleagues in our law school alongside a number of global partners. We're leading the revitalisation of this part of the city through Glasgow's City Innovation District, which is bringing companies both large and small here to work together with the university to create new ideas, technologies, and solutions to a range of problems across a number of research clusters. And research clusters are our way of harnessing our expertise. These clusters include health tech, fintech, 5G, industrial informatics, space, and quantum, much of which is based in our Technology and Innovation Centre. And we recently welcomed a new research cluster focusing on social innovation. We're growing Scotland's manufacturing capabilities as part of the fourth industrial revolution, which will see digitalization, automation, and artificial intelligence transform the sector and provide huge economic and employment opportunities. And what's the point of all of this? Well, all of this requires the input of lawyers and new understandings of the law, from employment through to how technologies are being used to improve our lives. In pursuing our vision, we understand the value of successfully working in partnership with business, government, and the third sector to make a difference. And we extend our global reach through academic partnerships with New York University, the University of Waterloo, and Stanford University, to name but a few. As a university, we are continually working to enhance our student experience, investing in our campus, as evidenced by Strathclyde Sport, and our new learning and teaching building where we will be serving refreshments. And our health and well-being services are being enhanced too. We put our students at the heart of everything we do. Our progress and our efforts have been greatly recognized in recent years with a host of awards. We became the only university to win the Times Higher Education UK University of the Year award twice, first in 2012 and then again in 2019. We've also been named Business School of the Year, Workplace of the Year, and received the Research Project of the Year award in recent times. Now, we are particularly proud of our law school and our colleagues here today. For example, Professor Alan Miller has been appointed chair of a national collaborative established to inform Scotland's national mission on drug deaths. Alan will ensure that the experience and rights of people affected by drugs are reflected in all aspects of this mission. Also, Dr. Chris McCorkindale is currently an advisor to the Scottish Parliament's Constitution, Europe, External Affairs and Culture Committee. Colleagues in the law school have been incredibly successful in securing prestigious Leverhulme fellowships over the last 3 years, more than any other school. Our Leverhulme fellows are Dr. Saskia Vermeulen on space law, Dr. Emily Rose on immaterial labor law, and Dr. Rebecca Zahn on the importance of ideas in labor law. Additionally, Dr. Saskia Vermeulen is currently curating her first international exhibition in Vienna. The exhibition is a legal performative installation about mineral extractivism in a futurist setting of mining in outer space, and it's funded by the Austrian Arts Council. As part of this exhibition, Saskia commissioned textiles, visual, performative, and sound installations from international artists from across the world, including Kenya, South Africa, Ghana, Brazil, the US, Austria, Romania, Slovenia, and the UK. A truly outstanding, innovative, and international contribution to our understanding of how outer space governance might be reimagined if the first person on the moon was a woman from Africa rather than a man from the US. Our alumni go from strength to strength too. In January this year, Strathclyde alumnus Kevin McCallum QC was appointed a sheriff by Her Majesty the Queen. Kevin graduated with an LLB in 1987 and obtained his diploma in legal practice in 1988 and was appointed a Queen's Counsel in 2020. These examples are just small samples of the wide-ranging activity and success for our university and our law school. However, to you, our graduates here in the Barony Hall, we are here to celebrate your achievements and the new chapter in your lives that is dawning. I hope that you not only take the knowledge and skills you've acquired during your time here to pursue and realize your aspirations, but that you remember our values and continue to be bold, ambitious, and innovative, but always mindful of the fact that in everything we do, we need to work with others and work for the betterment of others' lives, especially as we reflect upon the toll the coronavirus pandemic has had globally. So it is with immense pride that we see you graduate today. And though you may be leaving us, we hope that you will continue to stay in touch. Our alumni are incredibly important to us, and through your support, we will be able to also provide an outstanding education for those who follow. So in closing, on behalf of my colleagues and our principal, Sir Jim MacDonald, I wish you every success in your futures. Thank you. So that is the end of our congregation. What's the weather doing? It's raining, I'm afraid. So we're going to take damp photographs, it looks like. But once we leave the hall, you will be welcome to join us in the Learning and Teaching building, which is at the top of the hill. There we've got some refreshments and shelter. So it is my great pleasure to declare this congregation closed. The academic procession will leave the stage, followed by our students, and then we ask the families to join us. So please be upstanding. Thank you.